Hey guys, we're back. Nowadays, gi and no-gi jiu-jitsu are two completely different sports. Which one do you guys prefer? Let me know.
The most apparent difference between the gi and no-gi is their apparel. Long before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu started, Judo's founder Kano Jigoro created the keikogi, now known as the gi. Since BJJ was cut out of the fabric of Judo, it was a no-brainer to leave its gear.
Good, there's your foot, stepping one, stepping two, wow, beautiful.
From there, the gi was tweaked to be fitter and in different colors apart from the traditional white.
Lightweight, antimicrobial, and cut for a woman's body.
For the no-gi gear, the rubber guard pioneer Eddie Bravo was the first to create an academy with a primary focus on no-gi.
Hello, my name is Eddie Bravo, founder of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Well, I've taken the science and the concepts of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and infused it with a little evolution.
Eddie Bravo and his 10th Planet students spread the new invention to the extent that the no-gi is taking over. It is a struggle between the new, the old, and in between. Where do you make your stand?
We are proud to announce our channel has partnered with X Martial, the #1 brand in combat sports. From rash guards to shorts, streetwear, and gym equipment, X Martial has you covered. No company in the industry is doing more for the community, with $40,000 worth of gear given away in 2023 alone. X Martial also sponsors more than 300 athletes of all levels and ages, and a percentage of all sales goes back into the community via their Young Athlete Sponsorship Program. Use link in description for 10% off everything in store. And for your chance to win a $100 X Martial store voucher, leave a comment below answering this question: what year was X Martial founded?
In the early beginnings of no-gi, the leading BJJ instructors in the world weren't too convinced of the importance of no-gi.
That dispelled the myth that you have to do gi. As they used to tell us when we were younger, you have to do gi if you want to get good at jiu-jitsu, even if your goal is no-gi jiu-jitsu.
And they always would tell their students to train with a gi if they wanted to get better at jiu-jitsu. This was far from the truth. But the early winners of ADCC were purely gi fighters that fought in no-gi for ADCC. This backed up their beliefs even more, saying that training in the gi was better until Gordon Ryan came and changed the narrative.
Now that Gordon has won everything no-gi, the story has changed. Now they say to him, well, the only reason you're winning is because you specialize in it.
With the no-gi, Gordon Ryan won everything there is in ADCC.
Oh man, it's a bad day for the haters today.
Giving a voice to this new style of jiu-jitsu, no-gi was here to stay. The gi is without its own technical abilities because training with the gi helps strengthen your defenses. Also technically, the gi is also a live stimulator of how you can use your jiu-jitsu to defend yourself in a street fight against someone wearing a jacket or sweater. To be fundamentally sound in all aspects of jiu-jitsu, you need to focus primarily on no-gi. This is because when students focus only on the gi, their skills become limited. Some of the techniques of jiu-jitsu are solely limited to the gi. For example, the lapel guard.
Once it's here, I'm going to pass the lapel to my hand that I just underhooked with my thumb in towards him. I don't want to have my thumb pointed out like this. I wrap it over his hand. That doesn't always happen. If his hand is out, that's fine too. Okay? Once I'm here, I actually want to reset my position and turn into him again.
The worm guard, and so many others. If the fundamentals of their skill set are built on these techniques, they will be clueless when the gi is taken away from them. One of the reasons why no-gi was frowned upon by the BJJ community was pace.
2-on-1. Oh, look at this turnaround. Rita taking advantage of it.
He's going straight for the arm.
Cyborg's in big trouble. So Rita is trying to separate. He's got good control over the head.
He's going to stretch it out.
With the limitations on grips and holds, and more on skill and technique,
So now it's very easier for me to control his head. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, the first thing I want you to do, snap down, pull his head down.
No-gi fights are always very fast. Fighters cannot afford to stall or to be crafty, as there are little ways to buy time. For gi, skills plus strength pay dividends. Fighters benefit from using the gi to impose their dominance on the mat, as there are additional submissions available in the gi, such as the cross choke, lapel choke, and bow and arrow choke. As for no-gi, lower submissions are much easier and faster to apply there.
Just 15 years ago, 10 years ago, they didn't do lower body submissions, and they needed the gi to keep off these young athletic kids.
The physicality of jiu-jitsu could take a toll on the human body, and the gi doesn't make it easier. With a constant struggle, pull, and holds on the mat, it gradually makes its mark on old folks who have been training for years. As time goes on, they could suffer from arthritis, sore fingers, or calluses due to grabbing the gi.
So guys, a lot of people ask me if I should do gi or no. Honestly, I love both. To me, there's pros and cons to both. As far as like physical body, training with the gi, as you know, we're always breaking grips, we're always holding, and it could be very damaging to your finger. 23 years of doing jiu-jitsu, my fingers, as you can see, they're a little torn up, arthritis constantly all the time. That's one con training with the gi.
No-gi is without its own physical toll. Since no-gi uses a lighter fabric than gi, slips, bruises, and sprains could come in a bunch. Most people in no-gi wear shorts during competitions, and their bodies are open to the burns of the mat. Speaking of competitions, jiu-jitsu competitions have now been divided into gi and no-gi. The biggest organizers of BJJ competition allow both the gi and no-gi, while IBJJF has separate competitions for the gi and no-gi. ADCC is rather different.
Let me just give you an example for the history of jiu-jitsu. You used to only be able to compete in a gi. Abu Dhabi came around in '99, but one thing about Abu Dhabi is they went to no gi. You were even allowed to wear a gi if you wanted to. It was optional.
The ADCC allows fighters to choose which gear they want to arm themselves with. Is it gi or no gi? There is no separate competition for the gi and no gi, all in one. You choose what you're going to wear, although most fighters prefer to wear the no gi wear. Lately, there have been more no-gi competitions than gi competitions. Apart from the IBJJF, which organizes the World, Pan, and European Championships, gi competitions are a bunch. Some of the most unconventional BJJ events are no-gi. Who's number one?
Point on the inside heel hook.
He has it. He has it.
There it is. Verbal submission.
EBI.
What, he flipper kicks his leg.
And Polaris Pro Grappling. The gi and no-gi are versatile in two different ways. No-gi presents versatility in competitions. Modern MMA competitions are without gi. The MMA organizers give the fighters specific gears they will put on for the fight, unlike the early beginnings, where everyone could put on whatever they wanted, including the gi. So training in MMA Jiu-Jitsu with a gi is unrealistic. And the best way to go about it is via no-gi. And that's where versatility comes in, being able to do MMA and also Jiu-Jitsu competitions. For gi, everything you can do in the no-gi can be done in gi, but not everything done in the gi can be done in no-gi. Gi provides a variety of attacks and defenses that can only be learned and executed in the gi. It then leaves the question, which should you train? The gi and no-gi pose different strengths, capabilities, and uniqueness. Each is different and powerful in its own area. As a beginner, getting specialized shouldn't be the first step, because as a beginner, you may have watched several videos of jiu-jitsu, both gi and no-gi, and listened to different professionals about their personal preferences. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to which is suitable for your style and nature. Not all styles fit all, and trying to accumulate as much knowledge as you can in the early stages is essential. As you begin to climb up the ranks, train, and create your style, your specialty will subtly reveal itself to you. Although the new generation of fighters focuses are on no-gi, there is a larger portion of practitioners who still hold gi dear in their hearts and train often in the gi. While the gi is notable for self-defense and the no-gi for MMA, they should not be placed side by side. Instead, the specific role they play in jiu-jitsu as a whole should be embraced.